Hey, this is Molly. Welcome back to my YouTube channel as we take a look at the Aries Full Moon happening on October 20th, 2021 at 10:57 a.m. That's Eastern Time, so be sure and adjust for your location on the planet. So in this chart, we'll start out by looking at that moon in Aries at 27 degrees, 26 minutes, exactly opposing the sun at 27 degrees of Libra, 26 minutes. And you'll see that it is conjunct Mars. Mars at 23 degrees, but Mars is behind the sun, which means the energy is pushing or supporting the forward movement of the sun's energies. So we have a Mars that is working a little bit behind the scenes, and it is relevant and powerful because Aries is ruled by Mars. So Mars is the ruling planet here, and it is in an opposition to the moon, working with the sun and giving us motivation, energy, and even a sense of movement here that is going to be very timely for this Aries full moon. Now you can see that the full moon is at 27 degrees, which is towards the end of Aries. And what I wanted to call out here was something important that actually starts around the Libra New Moon on October 6th. So let's go there for part of this story. So every new moon is the energy that is being initiated and beginning. So with the Libra New Moon at 13 degrees of Libra, the sun and the moon began a journey here together and then traveled forward. Now at 13 degrees, the sun moves 1 degree a day, so that's why logically it is 14 degrees further from the new moon point. But the moon keeps traveling, and we have a very active moon between the Libra new moon and the Aries full moon. And this is important because the moon continues on, and it essentially meets up with Mercury that was in retrograde in Libra. It connects with Mars in Libra. And then as the moon continues to venture through this part of the zodiac, it actually makes conjunctions to all of the planets as it moves through the rest of the astrological signs before arriving in Aries. Now, the sun enters Aries on October 18th, and as it does so, it begins something new, which is part of the refresh of the moon moving into Aries. It starts a new cycle. But what I feel is happening here is since the Libra new moon, we have very active energies in our lunar expressions, that moon consciousness of our daily lives, our emotional needs, how we go about our daily adventures and what we're looking for. And I feel like what this Aries new moon is doing is that as it moves across all of these planets, moves into Aries, has a conjunction to Chiron, opposes Mercury, opposes Mars, and has very dynamic conversations. There's a lot of movement between the Libra new moon and the Aries full moon. And when the moon gets to this point where it's exactly opposite the sun and is being illuminated in the sky, it's the brightest point in the lunar cycle, there's a new awareness that you have around what you need and who you are now and what you're going to call back to you through that Aries sense of self after all of these interactions with other people in the outside world. This is an energy of returning to who you are, what you need, and what is correct for your energy with this Aries full moon sense of self. Who am I? What do I need after all of these interactions and connections with other people and the world at large? I feel like this is a bit like a self tune-up, an auric tune-up, coming back home into your own energy field and having more balance for what is essential and true for you, while also being aware of your commitments and what you need to take care of in regards to other people. So there's energy here where we are definitely collaborating, working, partnering with others. That's always the Libra signature and themes. And with Mars there, it can be easier to do so, where it's just natural. It's easier to get some things moving, get some things done. There's support for it. But what is being balanced is not giving everything to everyone, not doing it all, not overdoing, overgiving, over-providing, making sure that you're balancing your needs and you're listening to what you want. And because of the opposition to Mars and the Sun, these are strong energies. They're both noted as being masculine energies. This can feel like it's easier to do for other people or do whatever you need than to come here and listen to yourself. But there's something that's very important about this full moon, because part of what you're getting, it's a refuel. It's again that tune-up, fueling up what you need, making sure you have enough gas in your own tank so that you're not giving it all to others or sacrificing yourself, where there can be underlining resentment or bitterness or a sense of, well, what are they going to do for me? Is this even reciprocal? Is this even an equal give and take, or am I doing a lot? And that's where you're then claiming back what you need and understanding that you're responsible for what you need and to listen to that. Part of the Aries journey is the courage to hear yourself and to trust your gut, to trust that impulsive need that you have, to trust what you want, and then to be mindful of how you act, be aware of how you go about it, that awareness of other people's perceptions, what they need, to take their feelings into account. But this is a time of understanding that you have to be very mindful of your own energy. Now, the other energy that's very strong here is that we have 3 planets. Well, the moon and the sun are stars, but we have 3 energies interacting with Pluto here at 24 degrees, where there is a square to the moon and then a square to the sun and Mars. And that is a T-square that is strongest right before the full moon. It's actually 3 days before that the sun is at 24 degrees, squaring Pluto direct, Pluto station direct October 6th. And then it's a few hours before the full moon that the moon is at 24 degrees, squaring Pluto. So both the sun and the moon have had conversations with Pluto, a struggle, something that you want but can't have, a sense of where there's fear around your power and your personal authority, and then how to incorporate the understanding of change and transformation within you that also affects relationships and other people around you. So this can be quite contentious. It can be uncomfortable. One thing that this Aries full moon could bring up is a desire to start something new. because these are cardinal signs, which are all initiating energies. Aries, Libra, and Capricorn want to get something going and started. And there could be a sense of, what do I focus on? What is the priority here? Because these are the commitments that I can't ignore. This is the work I have to do. I'm not going to be let off the hook. But there's something that I have to take care of, and I can't ignore it. At the same time, these planets are trining this Jupiter at 22 degrees of Aquarius, which is also now direct. And Jupiter brings in the understanding of the future, where you're going, the path ahead, what inspires you, what you want to take forward. So it can lift you out of the heaviness of this T-square and show you something that is important, that you are motivated to develop, or basically keep your eyes on a prize. That's a bit of this energy too. Now, something that's significant about this Aries full moon is that the energy on October 18th is very important. So that's when the moon will enter Aries and start building up to the full moon. But on October 18th, we also have Jupiter stationing direct here at 22 degrees of Aquarius. And then also Mercury stationing direct October 18th at 10 degrees of Libra. So 2 planets stationing direct on October 18th, plus the moon entering Aries. This is an energetic turnaround. October 18th is an important day for energy getting ready to move forward. When planets are stationing direct, it's a bit like putting the brakes on your car, where you then need a minute to switch into the next gear before you put your gas on the pedal and get going. So there's something around a turnover and a shifting gears on October 18th that then leads to this buildup that is exact at the Aries full moon. So I feel like there's going to be a few days before the full moon where things are being untangled or worked out. And keep in mind, the sun will also be squaring Pluto October 17th and 18th. So it's like there's a shift happening the middle of October, but it's going to help with the clarity around what you need to honor in yourself by the time this full moon is exact. And by then you could know what is ready to begin and get started. And then it will probably shift or change as that moon moves ahead and is conjunct Uranus at 13 degrees of Taurus retrograde. But that can be exciting, spicy, juicy. Oh, wow, that's a great idea. Yes, I can see this accelerating and going in a different direction altogether. But essentially, we have a very active period between the Libra New Moon, as again, the moon moves along and makes conjunctions to all these planets, and then has some big higher understanding and revelation as it arrives at this degree point for the exact full moon energy. So be ready to pull energy back into yourself. This can be a beneficial time to work with any root chakra energies that are blocked or unhealthy or need support, as that Aries energy is looking for safety and security so that it doesn't have to do the fight or flight response. But there's an energy here of taking care of yourself, coming back into what you need, what you want, and knowing that there will be balance required with the planets in Libra. But this is meant to show you that you also have to take care of yourself and take care of what you need at this time. So October has 4 planets stationing direct, as Pluto stationed direct October 6th during the Libra New Moon. Then on the 18th, we see both Jupiter and Mercury stationed direct, but then back on October 10th, 11th, Saturn stationed direct there at 6 degrees, nearly 7 degrees of Aquarius. So October is getting us moving, getting us going. It's a bit like, oh, we're starting to move. Okay, let me pack up what I need and get going. So there's a sense here that you're going to feel that it's easier to move some things forward, especially if you've been contemplating it, sitting on it, I'm not quite sure, or maybe just the energies felt off. And you're like, it doesn't feel like it's the right time. There could be something here in October where the energy feels spot on. And during this Aries full moon, it's going to connect you with more of what is good for your energy, what's good for your aura. Again, it feels like it is this energetic tune-up that is supporting you in being more of yourself. So you want to locate where 27 degrees of Aries is in your chart, which house it's in, as this is where the energy is being illuminated. There's revelations. There's more self-understanding for you in this part of your chart, as the universe is saying, look right here, give yourself this gift. Give yourself what you need, because that's going to then support you and help you in where you're showing up in partnerships and in connections with others, as well as the responsibilities you have in the world and what you need to take care of. So overall, it feels like a very lovely time for being aware of your own energy, giving yourself what you need, taking responsibility for your energy in all ways, and also knowing that it's not your responsibility to do it all for other people. And that is actually one of the lessons of Libra, where you don't have to overgive, overprovide, or overdo for another. It's more important to remain clear and strong in your own energy. I'm also feeling like this is an important month to find your stability, to find your internal equilibrium, where as things rock and roll and shift around and maybe are quite wild at times, how do you maintain your balance energetically and otherwise so that you can feel strong and clear in who you are and what your priorities are right now? So I hope this has provided some good insights, especially how dynamic and active the energies are going to be between October 6th and October 20th, as the moon covers this part of the astrological wheel and makes conjunctions to almost every planet. If you want to learn more about October, please check out my monthly webinar programs. It's 4 individual webinars, more of a deep dive into the month. You bring your astrology chart and follow along as we look at these aspects and transits. You can see the power days, the big energy periods, when's the right time to do something, also when you should not, when you should hold off. So I do these monthly programs to support you in understanding your own energy as well as your own astrology chart. So check that out below, and the coupon code is Libra, and you get it for $11. And that's because I want to make sure this is affordable for all of you who are really going into astrology and your energies. So thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back here every Monday and Wednesday for another podcast episode. And be sure and check out all of my playlists here on YouTube, because I have so many free resources for you, and it helps you really dive into more of your chart. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you back here soon.